Oh, that's what it's.
Well, one of the highlights of the Chinese New Year celebration is the crowning of Miss Chinatown USA. The pageant was actually held a week ago. The coronation ball last night. And this year's Miss Chinatown USA 2017 is Karen Yang. She joins us now in studio. There you are, greeting some guests. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you didn't get a lot of sleep. They were supposed to dance till midnight at the coronation ball. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you're from Sugar Land, Texas. Tell me about being Miss Chinatown USA. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot to me because growing up, my older sisters in the dance studio would compete in the Miss Chinatown Houston pageant, and I'd watch them every single year. And I remember just like staring up at them, thinking they're so beautiful, so elegant, like so intelligent women, and just really like wanting to be like them when I grow up. So before leaving for college over the summer, I decided to compete in the pageant. And I had competed in some pageants in the past, but this like Miss Chinatown system is completely different. You learn a lot about yourself, but also about like your heritage and your background and just where you came from. And I feel like through understanding that, you have also a better sense of your own identity, which is something that's very hard to like find these days, especially with like the mix of like Chinese and Western culture.
Absolutely, and I think it also is a chance for people to you know, for the generations to kind of meld and come together, and for other people. I know the Chinese New Year Parade was started as a way to educate, you know, the community about Asian culture. What is your message to, you know, the young people who are trying to find their identity now?
Yeah, so I know growing up I kind of struggled a little bit with that too, because I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood, so I didn't look like the other girls in my class, and sometimes I felt like I was almost like ugly because like the pretty people in the media didn't look like me. But after like competing in this pageant and just really getting to know like the history of Chinese Americans, and just really proud to be Chinese American because we're such a strong and tight-knit group that have come a long way since the beginning, and just to be proud, like be proud of yourself because you're unique. You look like someone who's very beautiful no matter what society has for beauty standards.
Yeah, well, you're stunning. Tell me about what the next year, I mean, today is going to be a very, very busy day. We've got the parade tonight. We've got so many activities. What does the next year look like as Miss Chinatown USA, though? What kind of things that you do when you're trying to mix it in with school? Yeah,
so I'm from Houston, but I go to school in Boston. So
you're at a very elite school.
Yeah, I'm a freshman at Harvard. And
amazing.
So there's a pretty big Chinese population there, and we have a big Chinatown, and a lot of the people who reside in Boston Chinatown are newly immigrants, so a lot of the children don't know English very well. So there's a pretty great program there called Chinatown After School that I've been kind of involved in this past year, where they like mentor these younger kids and kind of inspire them and just push them to do well in school. So I'm really looking to get involved with that program and just continuing to like mentor young kids.
That's amazing. Now I want to ask you, I mean, if you talked about, you know, finding your own identity, I think I went through that same thing in college and trying to figure out who I was. What do you think the biggest misconception for people who aren't in the Asian community, because you're a spokesperson for the Asian community for everyone else too, that you want them to learn and understand?
Yeah, so I guess one of the stereotypes is just like Asians are very smart and like they kind of just like stand behind a desk and work, but you know, I would really like to see like Asian American leaders in our community and just being more outspoken and kind of standing up for what we believe in. So I'm just hoping to like inspire young girls and young Asian American children to like stand up and just be very vocal about what they believe in.
That's amazing. Okay, so I know you said you've been to the Bay Area once before. You're here now. Will you get any time to check the area out? Angel Island, in terms of history, is fantastic, but we also have so many great things for you to see. Are you going to get any time to check anything out?
Yeah, so we actually had a morning where we kind of just did all the touristy things like Golden Gate Bridge and Union Square, Ghirardelli Square. So that was a lot of fun. But I think one of the most like amazing things that I experienced was visiting the family associations in Chinatown. So they were established like over 170 years ago.
Yes.
And we don't have anything like that in Houston because Houston's a relatively new Chinatown. So it's just amazing to see like the culture and the history behind all these organizations and like how much of an impact they've had on like Asian American lives.
Well, that's incredible. Yes, so you have a lot of history here. We're glad you're here. Congratulations to you. I will be at the parade tonight. I think we'll be talking again. So thanks so much for coming in.
Of course.